People call it struggle food like it's funny, but Jamaicans know it's not. This man started listing the foods that Jamaicans ate when there was nothing else. And one of them genuinely shocked me because the real reason Jamaicans ate it, that's the part most people never hear.
These are the struggle foods I grew up on. When times were tight and the fridge was empty, these are some of the things we'd whip up to stop a gap. Today, I'm looking back on those meals and grading each one by how cheap it was, how filling it is, and how good it actually tastes.
All right.
A lot of these were easy, affordable meals growing up, but now, not so much. For now, let's start with one of the most popular struggle foods, bread. This is a standard hard dough bread. There's something very satisfying about breaking bread instead of cutting it.
That's true.
First up, we have bread and butter. Mummy would buy a warm loaf of hard dough bread on Thursday or Friday, so this was a late week stopgap meal for me. We would also sometimes buy half a bread at the local shop if we couldn't afford a full one. For this, I'm using actual butter. We called margarine butter growing up, and a lot of people still do, whether that's the solid stick type or the soft spreadable kind.
Yeah.
Margarine was cheaper than real butter and what everyone used.
Yeah.
Very easy. Takes 30 seconds, very filling, and a warm hard dough bread with butter is actually very delicious.
Absolutely.
I avoid it nowadays, but bread and margarine is a solid 6.3 out of 10. Bread and butter is a 6 out of 10. Butter was and still is much more expensive, so it's not really a struggle food, but it definitely tastes better.
Now, for me, for the record, I give this higher than a 6 out of 10 because I am a bread and butter person. Trust me. When I get the good hard dough bread and butter, bread and margarine, like he said, was the main thing because butter was expensive. But I am still a bread and butter person, and I will give that a solid 8 out of 10. Let me know how you'd rate that in the comments.
Next, we have bread and pear, aka avocado. It's the height of the pear season here in Jamaica right now, so they're cheap. But growing up, these were free because we had access to plenty of trees. Avocado makes a rich, creamy filling for a sandwich. This is struggle food, so I'm just chugging it onto the bread. We can't forget a little sprinkle of salt. That really brings out the sweet, creamy flavor of the avocado. Slap another slice of bread on that, and we have a solid 8 out of 10 snack.
Oh, yes.
The pear was usually free, and this made a delicious and filling sandwich.
Yeah, man.
The avocado is native to Mexico, but once it came to Jamaica through the Spanish, it rapidly spread. Today, we enjoy hundreds of varieties with different shapes, textures, tastes, and colors. With so many options, there's something for everyone.
Bread and pear, aka bread and avocado, is the jewel on the crown. That's what I should say. The jewel on the crown. For me, as a snack, that's the ultimate snack. And he gave it a 8 out of 10. Not bad. I would give it 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Let me know what you would give it, because bread and pear, brother. Bread and pear, now it's people glamorize avocado toast. It's now a big thing in the health world, right? But we grew up with bread and pear, avocado. Hard. When time's hard and you could only get a pear, which was, growing up in the country, it was usually free. We wouldn't pay for these things. But bread and pear, nothing else in the house, and you get bread and pear, you're good to go.
So, last night I had some very good brown stew pork for dinner. I purposely made this with a lot of gravy. That brings us to our next struggle food, bread and gravy. I'm using rolls for this, but in Jamaica we call these peg bread. This one is the same hard dough, so not much difference in terms of taste. Whenever we made a stew, we would save all of that extra gravy to have with a bit of bread for a solid 8 out of 10 meal. It's more filling than just bread and butter. The gravy really carries a lot of the rich, savory flavors. That is good. But now, let's get a bit more struggling.
Bread and gravy? Yes, we did that when all the meat was gone. When the meat was gone and all you had was the gravy left, you still had something to eat. We still had something to go by, something to fill us up. I wasn't a pork. I don't eat pork, but I'm just thinking about the curry chicken gravy or the curry goat gravy or whatever else gravy. Whatever gravy it was, you know how good the gravies are. Bread and gravy, or even crackers and gravy tough crackers and gravy. Good, good, good. For me, I would rate that a 7 out of 10. That's what I would give it, personally. Let me know what you think.
Because bread was cheap, there were some crazy combinations for struggle food. If we have bread and nothing to pair it with, we get creative. Sweetened condensed milk has always been a Jamaican pantry staple, so naturally we would try to pair it with bread. Another unexpected pairing is syrup. This is cola champagne, but fruit punch and pineapple are popular flavors. Adding a sweet liquid was a great way to feel like you're not just eating a dry slice of bread. Bread and condensed milk, that's sweet and milky, but it's nothing special. 6